As the Tiger, blares from the speakers of Tarbell Arena, we have victorious coach with us now for former Big East standout right side Grace Brooker. I'm Peter Ferrari, alongside winning head coach J.W. Kieckhefer. Coach, a sweep at home senior day. It was emotional from up here, seeing some of the players get their rips. Talk me through the emotional roller coaster of senior day and coming out with a sweep.
Yeah, really thankful for, the leadership that this group of seniors has provided our group, how much they've bought into the culture and to the men that I think we're trying to help them become, and for trusting me. And man, we got a lot of assistance this year, so to trust me and to trust the guys that people, men and women that we bring in to help lead them to becoming better men, and to just trust that with their whole heart and their whole being. I can't thank them enough for that in the way it shows to these younger guys about how to trust the entire staff in how they're trying to lead them to become better people, and knowing that that's what it's about is pretty cool. So Adrian Mashewski and Michael Yem and Ruben Emmerich and Ryan Morey, just really incredibly thankful for what they've meant to this program as men, and how they continue to live just great lives that make us want to be together and enjoy the time together and spend time with each other. So the people they are, the humans they are, is really special, and sad it's coming to an end for sure. Yeah,
well, it's not over yet. You got a few more games to play.
That's fair.
Grace, you had some good observations about some of the strategies Coach used today.
Yeah, your freshman Monahan had a great day today. How has he impacted your team this season and brought out, the team today, especially on senior night?
Yeah, Monahan has been beat up a little bit this year, so he hasn't always been available to play. In that 0-2 position, we've kind of been rotating through Hendricks and Monahan a lot, and Otto's been out all year. So it's been kind of a rotating door in the outside hitter spot for us this year. He's a pretty electric athlete, as you could tell today as a freshman already, doing some really special things at the net. And I thought he passed the ball really well today, too. So it's great to get him some time on the court. He needs it. He's going to be a big part of this group. So is Owen Hendricks, so is Ryan Bartz. The three of those guys are electric up at 11-7, 11-8, hitting the ball hard. So, I don't know what combination of the three of them we're going to get to at a certain moment. They all do different things incredibly well, and that's what's really exciting. And we miss Owen Hendricks' serve receive a lot right now, but I'm really proud of the way Bartz and Monahan passed the ball today, and their offense was pretty sweet today. I thought both Bartz and Monahan particularly hit a ball hard down the line at one point and went 4-4 early in the match. So to show that full court range, both line 4-4 over the top five, it's pretty unique as a freshman to have, especially since he hasn't played a lot of sets. So love that kid, and he's just a really impressive young man too, and the way he leads a group, the way he competes for the guys next to him, and it's just a great dude to the people around him. He's a pretty unique kid.
Yeah, great. As Pete said, season's not over yet. Going into the last two games of the regular season, what is your team leaning on to improve or maintain?
Just the consistency. I think that we've really struggled putting a full 3 sets together of clean volleyball. We can do it for 2. We've done it a lot for 2. And we got to find a way to compete together as a unit for a full 3 sets instead of letting some lulls happen. I think that's what happened against North Central last week here, and then at Lorset at their place. So we're pretty tough to beat at home, but we got to believe in how talented we are, and not let that talent question in terms of like what's going on. Like we got to understand teams are good at volleyball, and we got to push back. And so as this team learns how to compete at the highest levels, and as we learn how to punch back when we get punched, we're going to be pretty talented and pretty tough to get out. But we just got to learn to punch back, and it's okay to get hit a little bit. It's okay to get roughed up a little bit. How do you respond to that? Right now our response hasn't been great, and so we've been working on setting the tone better, coming out at 0-0 and setting the tone and working your tail off, and not letting the team punch to begin with. But the next thing we got to do a little better is we got to find ways to punch back harder and believe in ourselves and know we're going to find ways to win.
Looking at these next 2 games, you're on the road. What's the schedule going to look like? Again, you have North Central on Wednesday and then Illinois Wesleyan on Saturday. What's the tempo practice schedule going to look like for you guys?
Yeah, 2 big matches, both on the road. In an NPI setting, actually, it's good to be on the road. We haven't played a lot of road games, especially against great teams. So to get 2 top 30 teams on the road it is massive for our resume, if you will, for the NCAA tournament. Still trying to play our way into the top 4. So it's a massive week for us. You could have circled it all season long. And so we're excited to show how talented this group is. I don't think we've really shown that yet in terms of a consistent week in a long time. So we're excited to show that and put that on the court. We'll see what the week looks like. I think we played good volleyball today. We were able to get a bunch of guys in and out, so not a whole ton of jumps. Unlike last week, we played 5 sets and it was a lot of the same guys. So 10 sets of the same guys. Now it's been 6 with getting different people on the floor, getting opportunities. So we'll see what we put together. I think we got to get a little better technically, but it's more just about how we play and how we compete at this point in the season. You're not going to get technically crazy better. I think there's some things we can get a little better at, but it's mostly about our confidence in ourselves and how we're going to go compete as a unit together. And like I said, if we get punched, can we punch back? That's one question that this group has to answer.
Yeah, well, Coach, as the great Rocky Balboa once said, it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Amen, dude. Got to get up and keep fighting. So proud of these boys. Congrats to Adrian and Maury and Yem. And Ruben on senior night, really thankful for them and what they've done for the program. So
absolutely.
Thanks,
Coach,
guys.
good luck.
Go
We'll
Birds.
see you.
Thank you.
All right, for head coach J.W. Kieckhefer, some nice parting words. Grace, before we break down the final statistics of the senior day here, thoughts on what Coach had to say? You're a player. You're hearing those type of words. How do you interpret what he had to say?
Yeah, right on the money. I think, a big point of what he said is you're not essentially learning new things or improving a lot in in the end of the season, but you are maintaining and, seeing how you can keep your confidence levels up and get through the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. All right, let's break down the final statistics of this contest. A sweep for Carthage, 38-26, the kill differential, hitting 300-065, assists favor, aces favor, a little bit more errors, but that's expected. But the big one, too, the blocks, the digs, the categories that Augustana may have an advantage. Carthage just dominant across the board. These end-of-game stats brought to you by the Pullman Auto Stores. Anything in particular stand out for all these final statistics?
Yeah, Pete, as we talked about earlier, the hitting percentage versus Augustana and Carthage, it was lower in the beginning, and it still kept going on here, especially with the blocks as well. Their front row just couldn't compete with the Birds and, made a clear stride here.
Let's look now at the upcoming schedule on the CCIW network. Again, across the platform, so much sports. Tomorrow, the doubleheader, softball versus Beloit, baseball versus North Central, all of that at noon tomorrow, first pitch.